Have you ever noticed how certain neighborhoods act like gravitational anomalies? Not in a dangerous way, but in a way that once you cross their event horizon, you simply never leave. You move in thinking it is just a stepping stone, a temporary lease, and suddenly a decade has passed. You have completely forgotten what the rest of the city feels like.
Oh, absolutely. The urban gravity effect. It is a fascinating phenomenon in modern megacities. You go in for a quick coffee on a Sunday, maybe tour an apartment on a whim, and before you know it, your entire life is anchored to a 3-block radius. You stop commuting, you stop exploring, your entire world shrinks, but paradoxically, your quality of life skyrockets.
Exactly. And there is one specific enclave in Ho Chi Minh City that has absolutely perfected this gravitational pull. People actually joke about it in District 2, or what is now Thu Duc City. There is a famous local saying, once you move into the Estella family, you never want to leave. Today, we are going to unpack the psychology, the architecture, and the lifestyle behind that saying. We are looking at the two undisputed crown jewels of the An Phu area, the original Estella and its younger, flashier sibling, Estella Heights.
It is the perfect sociological case study, really, because we are not just talking about concrete and glass here. We are talking about two distinct evolutionary stages of urban luxury. The developers did not just build housing, they engineered a micro-society. To understand why families are so fiercely loyal to this brand, we have to look at how these two projects offer completely different philosophies of living, while solving the exact same urban anxieties.
Let us start with the original pioneer, the Estella. This was launched as the first phase over a decade ago, which in the timeline of Saigon real estate is practically ancient history. In a market obsessed with the newest, shiniest glass towers, a 10-year-old project should technically be losing its appeal. Yet, it still commands this fierce, almost cult-like loyalty. Why does the original Estella still hold the crown for so many people?
It comes down to one single, increasingly rare commodity: scarcity. Specifically, the scarcity of empty space. When the original Estella was designed, the developers were not trying to squeeze every single square millimeter out of the land plot to maximize profit. The density is incredibly low. Walking through the gates feels less like navigating a residential complex and more like wandering into a sprawling private botanical garden. There is actual physical breathing room between the towers.
Breathing room is the ultimate luxury in a metropolis of nearly 10 million people, isn't it? You step off the chaotic, roaring streets filled with motorbikes, you pass the security gate, and suddenly the loudest thing you hear is a bird chirping in a tropical canopy. It is a complete sensory reset. It feels like a classic suburban country club.
That sensory reset is precisely what people are paying for. And that spatial luxury extends indoors as well. The floor plans in the original Estella are massive compared to today's market averages. Modern apartments are often designed like highly efficient puzzle boxes. Every corner has a function, but there is no room to just breathe. The original Estella offers sprawling living rooms. If you have a growing family, you do not want to feel confined. You want a space where toddlers can actually run around without bumping into the television stand.
Which raises a really interesting philosophical question about modern real estate development. Have we sacrificed that classic, quiet tranquility just to pack more high-tech amenities into smaller footprints? Because when I look at the newer developments across the city, they are spectacular, but they feel a bit breathless. They lack that sprawling, quiet dignity of the original Estella.
That is the exact trade-off the industry has made. Land values skyrocketed, so developers had to build vertically and densely. They replaced horizontal garden space with vertical amenity decks, which actually provides the perfect pivot to Phase 2 of this project. If the original Estella is a quiet, secluded sanctuary, Estella Heights is a high-octane, 5-star tropical resort. It is the modern answer to the very question you just asked.
It really is a completely different universe. Estella Heights flipped the script entirely. Instead of offering an escape from the city, it internalized the best parts of the city. The most massive game changer, of course, is the Podium Mall. Having Estella Place sitting right underneath your living room is a structural revolution for daily life. You take an elevator down, and you instantly have a premium grocery store, a high-end hot pot restaurant, global coffee chains, and boutique shopping. It is the ultimate friction-free lifestyle.
Friction-free is the perfect descriptor. Think about the psychological load of running errands in a major city, the traffic, the heat, the parking, the rain. Estella Heights eliminates all of that. It introduces what I call the elevator commute. You want a premium latte? You press a button. You need to grab ingredients for dinner or take the kids to a movie? You just go downstairs. It completely alters human behavior. You end up cooking less, socializing more spontaneously, and operating on a much more relaxed frequency.
But let us play devil's advocate for a second here. When your gym, your entertainment, your grocery store, and your legendary resort-style infinity pools with those gorgeous cabanas are all within a 2-minute walk, do you ever actually leave the building? Does this incredible convenience create a sort of luxurious isolation? Are we building gilded cages?
That is the deepest philosophical dilemma of the modern mega-complex. We are essentially building vertical cruise ships on land. It is incredibly efficient, especially for dual-income professionals who want to maximize their weekend time with their children rather than sitting in gridlock. But yes, you absolutely risk losing that serendipitous, chaotic magic of street-level urban exploration. You are trading the raw, unpredictable city experience for a highly curated, sanitized utopia. Everything is perfect. The temperature is controlled, the security is absolute. For a single 20-something artist, that might feel stifling. But for a family with 2 young kids, that safety and predictability is worth its weight in gold.
That makes perfect sense. The priorities shift, and we cannot ignore the broader ecosystem that makes this specific utopia work so well. The Estella family does not exist in a vacuum. It is planted right in the absolute heart of An Phu. It leverages the entire neighborhood's infrastructure.
Exactly. The invisible glue holding this entire community together is education. An Phu is the ultimate school hub of the city. You have top-tier international institutions literally minutes away. Parents are essentially buying back their morning routines. Instead of a stressful, horn-blaring hour-long commute to drop the kids off, it is a 5-minute drive, or even a walk. When you combine that with the fast connectivity to the central business district via the Saigon Bridge and the upcoming Metro Line 1, you have a geographical goldmine.
It creates a very specific demographic bubble, doesn't it? You walk around the grounds of either project, and you are surrounded by this vibrant mix of expatriates and highly successful, high-income locals. It is a concentration of like-minded professionals. It is almost like networking by mere proximity.
Precisely. You are not just buying a title deed to a piece of real estate. You are buying into a curated social fabric. Your children are sharing the playground with the children of tech founders, corporate executives, and international diplomats. The community aspect is a massive part of the premium, but it brings us right back to the core decision a potential buyer or renter has to make. You have these 2 crown jewels sitting side by side, offering 2 very different philosophies of existence.
Right. It ultimately boils down to a personality test, a lifestyle audit, if you will. You have to ask yourself what kind of energy you want to come home to. Do you choose the original Estella because you crave tranquility, generous floor plans, and that quiet, classic suburban feel where the trees are taller than the streetlights?
Or do you choose Estella Heights because you thrive on modern aesthetics, vibrant social scenes, and the absolute undeniable convenience of having a premium lifestyle mall right under your feet? It is the choice between being a custodian of a quiet estate or a passenger on a luxury liner.
Both offer something incredibly rare in a bustling, kinetic city like Saigon. They offer a genuine sense of belonging and a safe, green environment for a family to thrive. But our discussion today really makes you wonder about the future trajectory of urban living globally. As our cities get denser, hotter, and more overwhelming, will we see more of these self-contained fortresses?
I think it is inevitable. The privatization of public space and convenience is the defining trend of modern luxury. We are moving towards a future where the ultimate status symbol is not the car you drive, but the ability to completely control your immediate environment. The ability to filter out the noise and curate your reality. The Estella projects were just ahead of the curve in understanding that psychology.
A truly fascinating thought to leave on. The luxury of the curated bubble. The next time you are stuck in endless city traffic, gripping the steering wheel, just imagine pressing an elevator button and stepping out next to a tropical infinity pool with a coffee in hand. It certainly makes you think about what you really want and what you are willing to trade for the perfect home. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the spaces that shape our lives. Thank you for watching. If you undo this video, it is a next video. We will catch you on the next episode.